Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. One first, I have to say this. You are so lucky that there is no smell associated with YouTube videos, because I'm telling you, our Wi-Fi was out of commission for for a few hours this morning. So when you think about it, what can you do without Wi-Fi? You can't binge watch YouTube or Netflix. You can't update your Etsy store. You can't reply to comments. Thank you so much, those of you who are commenting. You cannot, just cruise the internet. Can't shop, all those things. So I decided that maybe today was the day that I should boil the living daylights out of my purple cabbage. That also explains this. And then I was inking. Sorry. I do have surgical gloves in the kitchen. I should have put them on, but of course, by the time I thought of that, it was too late. That's out of the way. If you can hear the exhaust fan from the kitchen, I apologize. I'm still got it simmering. I tried to control myself this time and use less water instead of filling a Dutch oven and then having, dye last for weeks. I used maybe half a Dutch oven of water, and I just sort of ripped and tore the cabbage leaves, thinking that if I sort of broke those fibers, had some ragged edges, that the goodness would ooze out of them more effectively. So we will see. Hopefully it's a nice concentrated color, because then of course you can always dilute it if it's too dark. Anyway, this, after all that preamble, this is part 2 of the haul video that I called Play Hooky, Thrift, Enjoy. So the first one was miscellaneous, and of course, if you need a thrifting fix that doesn't cost you anything, you can watch thrifting videos, and I happen to have a whole playlist. So you can check out part 1 or any other thrift video if you want to. This, I said, would be linens and lace and trim and stuff like that. Now, if it looks like it's getting too long or too repetitive, I will, do a more cursory discussion. If it looks like, there's so much to say, then I'll divide it into 2 parts. But anyway, time to begin. I found this bag, and again, if you watched the last one, it was a variety of a garage sale, thrifting at 3, I think, or so places. Now this is just a random grab bag off interfacing. Now you can tell from this, like this bumpy one here, that those are little, glue globules, which means it's iron-on. Some of them, this one is fusible also because you can feel it. Some of them are going to be the plain old-fashioned stuff. I don't know what this is. Anyway, for $1, we know that was cheap as borscht. Okay, let's get into this. Now, this little pile, probably don't need a ruler today. This little pile was in a $1 bag, and I just kind of, I kind of pre-sorted. So, well, hopefully you'll see that I tried to make this a little easier than it would have been otherwise. To be honest, I have more elastic than I know what to do with in a variety of widths, so I'm not that thrilled about that. This purple Pico satin, Offrey brand. Offrey? No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Offrey. Good brand, and of course, Now, you have to understand that most of us tape when we can, tape these YouTube videos when we can, and schedule them to cover absences, to meet. Oh my goodness! I'm sorry, I shook the table. Okay, so for the 100-day, you don't do a video every day because that would be crazy. Thrifting videos I schedule for Thursdays. My What's in a Bookcase I do for Sundays. So pre-tape when you can so that you're never caught, with your pants down, so to speak. So the Get Her Done series, and I'm now working on the second project, which is the Purple and Teal Journal, will be long done before you ever see this one, because this video is probably going to be shown early September. And we're just barely mid-August. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that so much of what I found seemed to work in perfectly with that theme. Or maybe that's why I gravitated to it. I don't know. So you're going to see purple and turquoise, and the color keep repeating in things that you see. Anyway, enough about that. So you can see a variety of types, grosgrain and kind of semi-sheer ones. That's all great. Here's a cute little patterned one. I don't know how thrilled any of us are with bias tape, but there it is. This is a little velvety one. Here is a zipper, and look at the color. Isn't that a good color? And it's short, so I don't know. One of these days I have to figure out what to do with some zippers and make a dent in that inventory. Some embroidery thread. The thing that kind of fascinates me, though, are these. And there are 3, 6, 7, 8. So it looks... I can't quite figure out what this is. So if you can... Let's get one that is... a sensible person would just rip this open, but of course you can reuse it. So this is what it looks like. So it's a decorative snappy thing with this. So I'm going to have to play around with this because, I did pay $1 for this. I have to get my money's worth. I think they're cute and they have some potential. Now, there is a bit of thickness there, but anyway, we will see what happens with that. I have no idea what this is. Now, because I had covered buttons on my brain, I want to think that it's something to do with that, but to be honest, I'm mystified by that. So I'll push that aside. I should have brought an empty container just to throw things into. Now, this is another $1 selection here. Could have done without these sequins. Could have done without the elastic. Here's some kind of cute little trim. I would say that the best part of this are these rhinestones that are attached to this bit of velvet ribbon. So that could be nice. As well as this, which I'm thinking that this is intended to be enclosed in a seam, or in our cases, maybe between some pages, so that would just be a blingy thing extending at the end of whatever. Like so. There's a fair bit of that. I'd say, well, probably a couple of feet at least. And the other thing, I thought there was one other thing here that looked kind of interesting. Oh, this little bit. Now, there isn't much of it. and it is coming apart, but I think with some careful, so if I cut those, I could have these little beaded dangles to glue onto something. So there's, you know, what is that, maybe 10 inches or so of that. So much for that. Now this bag I haven't opened, but the thing that caught my eye here was Ribbon Rose Maker. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe let's have a look. There might be other goodies in there. So I'm thinking adhesive back bow card. Well, I don't know. So to me, all the parts here. I guess these are some of the parts. I certainly hope that this is, well, I would be trying it with real ribbon, not that god-awful stuff that you wrap around presents. But real satin ribbon that could, oh, this came from Regal initially. Anyway, I'll throw this all back together. We'll see if that works. I might try a dry run, and then if it looks like it might be worth your while. Yoy, somebody really wanted to make bows. Anyway, I will, if it looks like it's, mind you, how will that help you if you don't have this gizmo? I don't know. Let me see how that works out. You may or may not ever see that again. I bought this bag for $1. Mostly, I would say, because of these cute little green bows. Doesn't that make you think of Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah? She loves her bows, man. And, of course, has digitals that also... I've got things rolling around here. Digitals that are also, you know, obviously paper bows and so on in a variety of colors. Now, besides the bows, of course, the other thing that appealed here were these, these two. These are paper. And these guys that are so darn cute, sort of in that peachy, pinky family. Quite a few of those. So these are kind of cute too, although they're bulky, but I guess for a dangle they'd be sweet. These, some of these, oh, this is a, it is a barrette, I guess. But it could also be a page decoration. Oh, I just bent that. Oh, no. That's the way the... Okay, you lift up on that. It opens up. Aw. This video will be 3 days long at this rate. These are, well, I don't know, plasticky, resiny. These are buttons. I have to scoop this up because I will very shortly have no room to put anything. Oh. I hope that you guys are all well and enjoying the time, the weather, the company that you're keeping, and really having kind of an incredible day whenever and wherever this finds you. Okay, I put a bunch of things in this thing and we'll just quickly go through them. Now that I'm on this button covering kit, I found more. I haven't tried this brand. you'll remember that I was using, I don't think it was, what was it, Unique? I thought it was a more name brand than that. Anyway, maybe let's put all this together. The ones that were the worst were Prim. So if I encounter them, I will never buy those again. So let's maybe just do a bit of sorting. So seam binding, well, they call that seam binding as well. It's that lacy stuff. See, this is another brand too. Maxant, I don't know, is that French? Anyway, so we'll put that together. I didn't, to be honest, I really didn't need the buttons, but they were, some of them were pretty cute. And the reason I bought this, is I like that rusty color because that goes kind of with, one day I will be making a copper colored journal. Seam binding, this is white seam binding, so that can be dyed, of course. I have some of these, oh, I was going to say frog closures. That's not it. This is, so that could maybe be used in it. More button covering kits. Teeny little clothespins. Now, I have some of these, but did I need more? Probably not, but cute little spools. Again, would I wind something on them or would I work them into a dangle? Like those two are probably too big, but that one is cute. Cute little tape measure. I don't know, is it cloth or is it plasticky? I guess it's kind of plasticky. Okay, let's have a quick look at the buttons. I really like when they use, you know, when somebody uses this kind of stuff on a card, because, you know, it's just so much fun. This looks really old. These are unusual buttons. I thought these were kind of interesting. Again, that same bluey. See, blue, blue, purple, copper, tealy. I thought this was a good thing. It's another type of closure. Here, more teal or turquoise. Those are just kind of two different colors of metal. So let's throw this back in this box. Oh, here are more. Pink, tiny, cute little pink ones. And then these that would make cute little dangle things, I guess. A bag of white buttons. Now, I don't know if there's anything special in here or not. I probably could have done without them, although there are some that are so tiny and cute. You know, the cute gets me every time. Okay. Now this, I'm not quite sure what these are. I guess somebody just handmade them out of a trim of some sort and sewed a button into the center. So those buttons are kind of, the finish is peeling on them. So, okay, let's give her. Oh, in there I also had these flowers. So, you know, the appeal here is that they're flat. In case you're ever wondering what to do with this, and I know because I was doing this kind of stuff with, so you can cut this little green plastic green or brown plastic stem pretty darn close without having the flower come apart. And, you know, of course, that really flattens it out. You know, compare those two. And, I mean, this is where hot glue would be ideal for. So 50 cents for all of those, and of course, that's a good color. And we also know that these things would take dye if we chose to. This was also there, so I don't know, and it seems like it was maybe cut on the, like, I don't know why it's like this, but you know that I love these kinds of colors and that kind of a pattern. So one day I will see what is really going on here and use it for snippets or a ruffle or whatever. Okay, let's maybe do this basket next. How are we doing for frame? Whoops. I didn't open this. Now you can see that now this was the gal that said, you know, those things that were 70 cents, I charged you 50 cents for a lot of them. So, who knows? Oh, gold tassel. And this is really rather bright, but I thought it was old. And if I ever get around to doing a sunflower journal, this would have its place there. So let me take it off this big, awful cardboard. Oopsie. And I will re-roll this. I have a pin cushion. Okay, get rid of this. I'll put this to the side. This is, I don't know what this is. It's some sort of cord. It's not crochet cotton. It's some sort of heavier cord, which I think, let me find an end. Well, is that strong enough? That might not be strong enough for binding now that I demonstrate my brute force here. I think I would take a chance on that, to be honest, because who reefs on a thing like that when it comes to sewing in signatures? I thought this was, again, it's an offer ribbon. It's 2 1/4 wide. It's wired, and we know that the pink soft green combo is pretty popular, and there is a lot on there. So I'll have to come up with something for that. Oh, a little grab bag of silk ribbon. Now I know that I bought a bunch of new stuff, corded, because I thought I was going to just turn into a silk ribbon embroidery maven. So I bought, you know, little things like this. So you can see that somewhere these were priced at $3.25 each. So now this is obviously not, and neither is this, but, and there's some embroidery thread in there. So anyway, there is a bunch of silk ribbon in there for embroidery or anything else that a person so chooses to use it for. This and this were on a great big bobbin type thing, I guess. This looks kind of rough, to be honest, but maybe in a, you know, kind of a grungier, I should also wash this. Yeah, I'll do a load of laundry after I'm done with this. This, to me, looks really quite old. It's fairly heavy duty. It's substantial. It's two-tone. Yeah, it's some sort of a braid. So I thought that was interesting. This is a ball. I love this color. So 25 cents came home with me. Here is a spool, brand new, but it's not a very It's only got 6 yards on it. But, of course, there's the turquoise again. There's almost like a rust color and off-white or ivory. So I will take these off because that's not much on here at all. But neither was 50 cents very much. Okay, what else have we got here? This is a Grow Grain ribbon that is a blush pink. I don't know if that is evident on your screen wherever you're watching this. Let me get rid of this before it snags something. I should maybe turn on some light. It's afternoon. It's still bright, shiny out there, but of course, I'm just sitting at a window here with ceiling lights. So I thought there was potential in this, and it's really kind of nice and soft. So if I dared to, I guess I could wash it. You know, it would fray, obviously, but some cotton ribbon, 2 meters, $1.25. Now, we see this kind of stuff all the time at Dollarama. I think this is wider than the usual one that a person sees there. And it, of course, is just a nice workhorse of a cotton ribbon. So I thought that was good. $1.75 for this. No, I can't. Is that? Oh, this might all be the same. Let's just take this apart and see. You know what? I think this is all the same ribbon and probably just drifted. So that is pretty darn nice, and it is 3 inches wide. And likewise with the black. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. Now this was $1. I don't think I have a staple puller here, do I? Do I have a screwdriver? Wonder if this thing would work. Maybe I could break this. Or let's not do anything. I'll just show you. I'll stick my hand in there and show you that it's got this little fringe at both ends. So I don't know if that means it was cut off something. I've never seen that before. Kind of reminds you of a Roaring Twenties fringed little skirt or something. $1, and there seems to be a fair bit on there. I thought this was nice because of the vibrancy of the color. So it's like a corally thing. It's flat. But what is this? This looks old. Ah, spring, when family needs. Oh, sprout like weeds. So this is a thing from Scotiabank. But we don't know what year. Can we tell by these? Why don't they tell us what the interest rate is? See, if anyone had any math skills here, they could tell you $300 loan, a monthly payment of $26.50. Total repayable is $318. So how can that be? Total repayable. I don't know. Thank God this is not a math channel. Now, look at this. Based on the dog-eared, what do you call these things? Bobbin. Wonder what's under here. And the way this is stamped on here, I feel like trying to peel this up. See what they're hiding underneath there. I think this is old. You can't fool this kid. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, the other one is better. So it is a trim of some sort. It's narrow. It's sort of a russety red with this white kind of intricate woven thing. So I thought that was cool. Now this one, same sort of thing. And here we can see that there's like a stock number, a color, and the yardage. Now this is fabric of some kind. And embroidered, like it's hemmed on either side. So there's this little hem here. And then this fancy stitch down the middle. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty darn, wouldn't that work nicely in a journal with a sewing theme or a blue theme? So that was good. Okay, I think we're almost done with this thing. Some beige little velvet ribbon. This, again, see what I mean about teal and turquoise? This must have been a little kit for, wedding favors or something. So there are these different, okay, let me see, what is this? So sheer. Yeah, I'm sure you had to put some candies or chocolate covered something or others in there. Let's get one of these. I think this will be sheer as well. Yes. And these scalloped silver satiny ones. And then some black sheer. And then some turquoise. It looks like, you see how it's iridescent? So, was this not a heck of a deal for 75 cents? I wonder, I could probably turn those scalloped ones into flowers fairly easily. That's not going back in there. Who am I kidding? Some ribbon roses, again, teal. And then this plastic thing that cost $1. You can see it's got 4 different types of lace on it. We know that this is probably 80s, 90s. Again, all of these things, and I know that there are some, dare I say, lace snobs out there. I try not to be one, because I think all of these things are legitimate crafting supplies, and they have a place. So I am content with that. And then finally, this bag of ribbon, some polka dots again. Can you see that? I should take these out right now and relocate them to that journal thing. There's some purple. And the rest is just basically satin, nicely folded and cared for so that it, doesn't need ironing. Okay, hunky-dory. Here's a little fabric bundle. Now I paid $1.50 for this. Now this is not great. This is just like gabardine. But again, I suppose it could be, it's a weight that could be a journal cover if a person wanted something so boldly blue. So boldly blue. problem with navy, if you've ever tried to match disparate items in your own closet, there are 3 million different variations of navy or dark blue. So anyway, this all will get washed and I'll reassess. Now this is a small piece. I think this could make some cute fabric journal covers. It's neutral enough that it would be inoffensive to virtually anyone. And it's kind of like an upholstery, maybe not upholstery, but sort of a heavier drapery weight. Love this little harlequin thing. That's the size of the piece, so not too much of that. Again, I'm not really a green person. I don't know if these two went together. I suppose that matches something there. Keep those two babies together. Some pink. I don't know. Could that be? Well, it almost looks like Aida cloth because it's so, but it's kind of soft. I don't know. This would be so easy to use for counted cross stitch. So that's why I'm thinking that, but I could be wrong. Typically, you'd never find it that color. Here are a couple, more fabric samples. So this is Maxwell Fabrics, strié in 3 different colors. These aren't very big. I could use my mat. I don't need a ruler. 10, about 6.5 roughly. This is French blue, dry clean only, 100% cotton. That seems strange. Do you see the makings of an all blue thing here? This is very crisp. It almost feels like a sunbrella, or that kind of outdoorsy, but it just could have a lot of sizing in it. And this is like a sort of a gabardine. And of course, I've got other blue fabric. So this stuff will probably go into the wash soon. This, I thought, now unfortunately, this was, I think I paid 50 cents for this. Again, it was one of those unpriced things, but I asked because I didn't want to overpay. This is a flat crib sheet. So we know that cribs aren't very big, are they? So it is about, so my mat ends at 34. I'd say this is a yard. So this is, again, would this not be perfect in that journal that I'm working on? You see how it just kept reappearing in my life? Now, this was sewn onto this plain piece of cotton, which of course would be great for tea dyeing, coffee dyeing. I could take that stitch out and I would have this to about 2.5 inches off something to use. So that will be washed. At the same place, I got these doilies. Now, again, I can see these working in my long talked about coppery one because it's only a step away from copper. So these were 50 cents each. Now this, I'm trying to figure out, this would have been 50 cents each also. Now, is this just very evenly stained, or was that variegated thread? I've never seen that before. So, I don't know. I'll run this stuff through the washing machine and see what develops. This is a tiny little thing. You can see it costs 50 cents. Cute little picot type crochet around the edge. Couple of embroidered butterflies. Cute around a journal. So there's that. Now, you know that I love burgundy. Does this look like maybe a match made in heaven? I'm sure I have this kind of lace, but it was $1, people. This is a very loose woven thing, and I don't know what this would have been used for, but I love it because it's kind of a, light pinky, purpley thread running through there as well. So this is too loose a weave to do a cover or something like that. Wonder, is there any stretch? There is no stretch to it, but so there'd have to be something interesting underneath, or same color underneath, to sort of stabilize it, I would say. I just love this. It feels like it could have been, well, I don't know what it could have been. It's not thick enough to be like to make a, what am I trying to say? A throw. Now this feels like, this was $1.50. There's a lot here. Oh, so I would say this is like ultra suede. So that sort of fake, fake suede, basically. Does my heart good to see these kinds of colors, And then this, paisley, burgundy, pink, that sort of, this was, oh, I paid $1.50. Didn't I say I paid $1.50? No, that was that other bunch. So maybe I paid $2.25 for this. Well worth it. So this is a cotton of some kind. What does it say here? Cranston Print Works, VIP print. Don't know what that means. Don't know my fabrics that well. Don't tell me that someone paid $15 for 1.5 meters, and I got it this, well, I don't know if there's 1.5 meters there, but for, I guess I should take the staples out before I wash these things. I got this for $2.25. There is a lot here, people. Oh, there's a corner missing there. I think I have one more staple to get out. I love it so much. Okay, I'm going to try to speed up here. Well, I'm just about done with the fabric, so I can probably do let me see how are we? Ooh, we're at 44 minutes. But I think, maybe I'm being presumptuous here, but I do think that a lot of people who watch these types of channels, my type of channel, really do love the, whole fabric thing, because it's kind of our bread and butter around here. It gets our engines revving and our little pulses racing. Throw this aside. I love this, again, because of the color, 75 cents. looks like linen. I don't believe it is linen. Or, well, I shouldn't say, how do I know? I don't know if it's linen or not, but it definitely has that look. And there's a fair bit here, so. Deal. Now this was, I don't think I've ever done this kind of thing before. I bought stamped goods. This was $1. I guess they staple over the masking tape so that there's no price switching. Because you know, $1 isn't enough. You gotta try to cheat if you can. That was sarcasm, incidentally. Distributed, blah, blah, blah. Now, the part that I liked about this is that, well, it's big. It has a design stamped at each end. And whoever, I don't know if they would have sold it that way. Probably not, because there's a blue line there. Somebody has done, I would say, the hardest part, which is this, what is this stuff called? This is that fancy edging that people often do, where, if I'm not mistaken, I think I might have done it myself back in the day on Ukrainian cross-stitch pieces. It was a way to finish, to make the thing finished. If I'm not mistaken, it involved pulling out but that wouldn't work around a curb. I was going to say pulling out a thread. But I think instead you just wrap thread around some of those fibers, and it creates those spaces, because once you cinch a few fibers together, it makes a space. Anyway, the reason I thought that this was doable, because satin stitch, maybe this would just be a daisy stitch, some French knots, Bob's your uncle. I can do that. And I could, if I so chose, because I'm not about to use something like this in my own decor, but could that not be chopped down and made into 4 pieces? Now, am I actually going to do this? We don't know, do we? And then once I saw that, of course, I saw another. This one too has already been done. This is heavier. I would say this is definitely linen. Oh, it says all linen. Same tag. Excuse me. Hirschner. Distributed by Hirschner Stevens. Hirschner Stevens, Point, Wisconsin. Anyway, I won't belabor that, but you can see this is linen. This is big also. Oh, this has designs along the length of it. So again, no problem. Little daisy stitches. I do satin stitch there. Some French. I thought I needed French knots here somewhere too. But yeah. Again, don't know if that's going to materialize, but I can see this being a good portable type thing to stick in a bag. Have some skeins of embroidery thread on the go, and just work here and there at it. Then, of course, you can also buy something that's already done. I thought this was quite cute. You know, there are colors there that would work with a lot of different projects. It's got, oh, what the heck? I was going to say that's rickrack, but no, it isn't. I don't know. That's a cute little edge trim on there. Cool. Okay. Now this is a round tablecloth. I like it's probably, one of those 60-inch ones. I like the pattern because it's a floral. I probably won't use it for anything that you guys would be interested in. But I do think that, like, we have some round patio tables that have the umbrella hole. So what I would do is probably carefully, when it's folded and squared off properly, cut a circle here, smaller, and then enlarge if necessary, that would allow the umbrella pole to go through the table. Because, again, this cost me, I don't even know what this cost me, but peanuts. And it will look, it's almost impossible to clean those outdoor tables after they're a certain age. So isn't it easier just to make it nice like this, with something like this? And then look at this, people. I should have warned you to shield your eyes. This is a huge chunk of fabric. Now, if I'm not mistaken, eventually, I found a $3 piece of a $3 piece of masking tape on it, and that's a heck of a deal. However, as I was looking at it, I also found some stains. Now, I didn't hesitate to point that out to the lady. I said, it's got a $3 price tag on it, but it does have some stains. So if you found your way to, giving me a bit of a break on the price, I would certainly appreciate it. So now I obviously can't take this all apart. However, you will see, so there's, kind of rust marks in places. So this is probably 44 inches wide. So it's got this heavy pattern here at the bottom, and then these vertical things, stripes, vertical florally stripes. So I don't know what this would have been intended for, but I'll ask you honestly, would you have left this behind? I didn't think so. So, I think I'm just going to go a smidge further rather than do another video. Let me just finish this off. Oh, I think my camera's high enough that I'm going to show you this. This is one of those banker's boxes, letter size. I paid $8 at a garage sale for this. Now, again, I'll go back to I'm not a lace snob comment, because it is obviously not, antique lace or anything. But there are some interesting things in there. Now, the man that was selling all this stuff said, and I'm just going to sort of, talk and show. You don't need me to tell you that. You don't need me to tell you about stuff like this. Oh, this was a 3. Okay, somebody's taking that apart, which is exactly what I would do. So I'm just going to grab and show. Anyway, this man was saying that he was selling this stuff for his mother-in-law. And I kind of gathered from some of the conversation, this is velvet, that I overheard. This is velvet. It sounds like maybe she was going into a facility. So and there was other crafting stuff. I think they were totally out to lunch with what they priced their scrapbooking stuff at. And I hope that nobody was naive enough to pay that. Like this color. Anyway, so it sounds like she was going into a facility. This is probably, like a curtain panel, part of a curtain panel. Anyway, so he says, oh yes, she did every craft under the sun. Here is a little dangly thing. So this could work. These dangles are fairly long. Almost 1.5 inches. So, well, I guess I should put this somewhere separate. Tool, you know, just odds and ends. Anyway, he said that, you know, Christmas, you know, everybody and his brother got something handmade from her. And, you know, all the grandkids, all the kids. And because I like to sometimes, I won't say throw a grenade into the conversation and then back away. I do like to, you know, provoke discussion, provoke thought, be the smart-ass one who says, but what about this? Because I could have gushed on and said, oh, isn't that lovely? That's so sweet. But I'm more likely to, see these wide satin ones? I'm more likely to be the one who to say, and I did. I said, so how well received were all these handcrafted gifts? Did people think, oh, this is so wonderful, we got this from Grandma? Or were they thinking, like, where's the envelope with a check in it? So, of course, that took him aback a bit. And he said that, you know, there was both reactions. Obviously, there were some people who loved every single thing that she made and couldn't, what the heck is this? And couldn't wait to, you know, those were the first gifts that people reached for. I've never seen anything like this. That's like a twill tape of some sort. Anyway, and he says, and I'm sure there were others who, oh, see, I added this to the purchase too, because I thought, well, we know that these are Dollarama things, but they're unopened, they're butterflies. He says, there was definitely some of the other reaction. I think this was also an add-on that I threw into the box. Oh, I didn't realize it was all connected. Wouldn't this be kind of nice? I mean, the only place you could use I can't find an end. The only place you would use something this tall, this thick, this high is on a journal cover. Do you think that this could have been made by that lady using that ribbon? Oh no, it was two separate places. Scratch that. Here are a few little silk flowers, bit of ribbon. Nothing so great there. Oh, is this more of the same? Anyway, you can see that there is just oodles of this. Now, a thing that kind of surprised me, and maybe we'll see it in one of the other boxes or other bags. There seemed to be a lot of this kind of stuff. Now, this has that, you know, that hem type stuff on the bottom. Well, when I find it, I'll show you, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. Here's a wider cotton ribbon or lace. Here's something that was obviously salvaged from something. This is different. So I'm sure that will find a place in a project. And who knows, maybe by the time I get to using some of this stuff, forest green and dusty rose will be back in vogue. And I will be like ahead of the curve for a change instead of behind. And this, what was this called? Sort of like a Wedgwood blue. See, this kind of stuff. So I don't know. She probably just cut this off. This looks like a salvage edge of something. And again, you know, I'm not scoffing at anything like that. There's also this that probably came off something. It's got the little kind of machine embroidered edge. Rick Rack, anyone? Whoops. Now, one thing that you're going to find that may be a bit strange is that she often wrapped stuff around pill bottles. And of course, you know, with no regard to identity theft, her name is on these bottles. So obviously I won't be unrolling those on camera. This is just on a spool of thread, you know, plastic spool. So that's kind of clever, except that takes up a lot of space. And we know space is at a premium. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. Rick Rack in every possible color and size. This corally one, I think would go nicely with some of the other things that I've shown you. Didn't need the elastic. Some seam binding, you know, so these I will obviously repackage or whatever onto existing spools or those, what do you call them? Clothespin, wooden clothespin type things. Clothes pegs. Haven't hit the bottom of the box yet, guys. Oh, I got a whiff of smoke. That's not good. Eyelet. This bag was all eyelet. I think I should. I'll take these off there and run those through the washing machine. And maybe just automatically dye them as well. Here's another, you know, light blue thing on a spool. See this? Oh, it's like this, but that... Anyway, I can see this would be kind of cool on a... this woman is like... Oh, sorry, I shook the table. This woman is from our tribe because she doesn't waste a darn thing. Just like we don't waste a darn thing. This is kind of glittery. Bits and pieces. Now this one, you can see that she was taking it apart. Again, so, oh, I see. So that's more of that edging type thing. Yeah, cool. There's this on a pill bottle. Is there anything? Well, this isn't white, but hey, that it kind of looks not so bad on the green. Oh, before I dump the last box, or bag, a couple bags, I should also show you some of the odds and ends. So this is a bag with some fusible web, well, fusible interfacing. So a couple packages of this, some very crisp Aida cloth, a Father Christmas kit. So there's probably, oh, these are just pattern pieces in here. Now this, I thought, was this was a bit of a surprise at the bottom of the thing. Sort of a wintry, Christmassy, well, winter theme. So what she has done is some satin stitch on these leaves. And I don't know, not complete or just, maybe that was the intention. You just add a wee bit of, so these little French knots are snowflakes, obviously, that are flying around, that have accumulated on the wheel there, have settled on the, oh, and look here. I didn't realize that this, some of the spruce has been done with, is that just a running stitch or what the heck? Yeah, just basically a running stitch. And then there are 2 additional pieces. So here there's, I guess, apples, snow, more leaves. Here's a mailbox. Like, is this not cute? Creative Circle, 1981. So, you know, I would say that some of these 2 probably, are ready to use as they are. I'll wash them. But couldn't they be cute? Either, you know, a page in a journal. Well, no, I guess you'd want them, maybe you'd want to stitch them together so that the back side is not showing. Maybe with a piece of cardstock or something in between for a little bit of rigidity, or just, I wonder if it's possible to sew them together on that blue line. Sorry, I'm just kind of holding it up to the light to see if they line up. Not exactly, oh, pretty close to perfect. Stitch them together on that line, maybe with a zigzag so that any discrepancy would be disguised. Leave this side, this white side, as it is, so that it could be sewn into a signature. Oh my God, that's so brilliant. That needs washing. Okay, this looks like a bag just of this metallic-y, oh, 3 layers. Don't you feel like you need to make, or somebody needs to make a Christmas angel out of this? A big flouncy skirt. Okay, what is this? It's kind of good, just see, more of, this is what I was talking about, more of this kind of stuff. And this is sort of our color, isn't it? I really need to finish this video, guys, so I can go turn that burner off before all the water, and I have a cover on it. This is cool. Not much of it. And white. Okay, let me just show you I have to get that stove turned on, otherwise I might end up with scorched cabbage leaves and nothing else. This is not attractive at all. Things are rolling away from me. This is different. This is, yeah. See, this is what I was talking about with that other stuff. Anyway, guys, I am going to stop there. You don't need me to touch every piece of lace, elastic. Unreal. This has a soft blue edge to it. Probably salvaged off something. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry this video, we've ended up going over an hour, but you can see there is some bounty here. I will see you in the next one. And clearly I have to come up with and begin using, I have to start gluing lace to anything that is standing still. How does that sound for a strategy? Think that'll work? Anyway, I have to get to the stove. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.